inside of Thinkorswim. I ended up going back to, what is this, the 13th. So I went back to the 13th, which was Wednesday, to retrade and go over, what happened with these moves in the market, and it can help you in the future here. On this play, this is the open, 9:30. We get this nice candle moving up to the 200. And then we get this 5-year, the 365 moving average. And we also get the break over this 30-day moving average on the 1 hour. Look at that giant candle coming up here. So if I'm looking at the 1 hour chart, I see that we came below the 200 and the 365, came all the way down to the 5-year moving average down here, bounced hard off of it, came up here and made a higher high than here, right? Then ran all the way up here, pulled back down to the, appears to be the 200, and now we have a red to green move from pre-market in the open, where we're blasting off, we're pushing away from the 200 moving average, right? We're pushing away from it, and we crossed the 30-day. So this is looking clean. We have on the hour chart, the 365 and the 200-day moving average lining up here. Now we're starting to see a hard rejection. We see a cross here, right? We see the 200-day coming below. So that was a hard rejection here. So this is the 5-minute chart. As we can see, the stock did move down. We retraced, it looks like, up into this consolidation zone right here, and now we're hitting some turbulence, which just so happens to be the 365, the 1-year moving average. Because of the strong move coming up, though, I'd still hold to see what happens. But at this point, I could probably move my stop up under the 200-day moving average, because if we get a break back through that, the chances are a retracement from this giant move here, from this move. Are pretty high, because I would say that roughly from this peak here, this is more than halfway from where this move came all the way down to here. So because this is like 2/3 of the move, the likelihood of a continuation is pretty high as well. But ideally on this play, you want a flat 365 flat. Basically, you want it to look like it does over here on the 1 hour chart. All I had to do is, once I created a Thinkorswim account to be able to access OnDemand, is to click this little OnDemand button over there on the right side. So now we open right below. Oh, no, right on it. We pulled back here a little bit. And I don't know what direction this is going to go in. I did trade this week, but I'm a dumbass here. So it's 9:45, right? So at 9:45 coming into the 10 o'clock hour, that means we're on the back end of the time frame for this hour candle down here. So I would expect that we would get a little bit of a pullback and then a continuation if we were going to move higher. If we pull back under the 30, that's a good indicator that we're gonna drop, and this is gonna turn into like a doji candle or whatever. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna place my stop below the 200. See, I got these pre-saved orders, so I can just right click on the screen and I can go to sell custom, and then basically I have these listed here. I can go boom, partial. I can do whatever, but right now I'm going to do a stop. So I'm going to look for the 100 stop, boom. So I got that in there. Let's go back to the chart. So this is a great tool. You get to really figure out and run through what happened in the previous days. And look at AMD. AMD came up and hit this 5-year. I'm going to play AMD short. I'm playing AMD short. I think I might remember this play. I think this one worked out short, but I could be wrong. So whatever, we're going to try it. All right. So I did a partial of 50 here. I'm putting my stop up here. It's saying that I can take up to 150 something shares. We're buffering. We're buffering here. Where's the 30-day? Okay, so the 30 days even lined up with this. It's a nice little trade there. It looks like we got a nice move. NVIDIA, I think, is broken on this. Arm's not even showing up. Look at that rejection, though. Look at that rejection. So I'll let these play out. I'll let these two play out, see what happens. And then from there, I'll go into Friday and we'll look at the past week's movement and then Friday's movement to be able to distinguish what we're going to go over on Monday. So, boom. Let's speed this up. Let's see what happens. 47. Let's go to 55. AMD, I'm almost stopped out. I came close. Microsoft, I'm down 83, so we had a significant pullback. Let me see. MSFT. Microsoft, I'm sold. I sold for a loss. So on that play, I was down. Tesla was one I left in, so I didn't trade that today. So I'm down 98 and 4. All right, let's try this here. MD. But yeah, see, it's pretty cool. You get to practice. You get to get in here, and as long as it buffers and loads properly, you get to come in here and you get to take some shots. You get to make some plays. You get to look over the previous week. All right. Buffer up, buffer up. You really had problems with me. Fast forwarding it, which is one of the features that sucks about it. So I'll freeze it right here. I'll press pause. I'll let it catch up and see if I get stopped out here. It's looking like I'm going to get stopped out. That's a strong move up right here in this candle. And see what basically I said, hey, there's this move up. We ended up hitting the 5-year moving average right here. And I remember last week when I did my recap of all the plays that these had a lot of 5-year rejections on it. And we're 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes in. You can see the volume candles in the background of this. Kind of. There you go. See the volume candles as the volume's dying down on this. So that's why I was like, okay, so it's probably going to be a good play. All right, let me fast forward this. I'm going to run into Friday. See if I get stopped out. Ooh, it definitely gets stopped out. I have to get stopped out. Yeah, that's going to stop me out. I think. So I'm stopped out. I'm stopped out. This thing went up. It cut through again. And on the second attempt, it looks like it would have worked. But on the first attempt, I would have been stopped out. Okay. All right. So let's go into Friday. The 15th. Yeah. Or shit, is it not available? Let me go into it. Okay, so we can go into the 15th. We'll go around. We'll do 9:30 a.m. on the 15th. We can do 10. Let's get out of this though. This is 550. So what I'm doing now is I'm just closing out that position. Like if you jump time in the simulator, it's going to leave your position. And even if you would have been like, would have been stopped out, but I jumped the time ahead. So that it showed that I didn't get stopped out. And because I jumped like 2 days ahead, it's, playing Tesla's crash or AMD's crash right here. Wow. Look at that lined up. So on this, you have the 5 year, the 365, the 200-day, and the 30-day pretty flat. And we came up here and retested and just dropped like a rock. So let's look over a quarter or over a week. Okay. So this is the weekly candles. This is the weekly setup. The volume, pay attention to the volume. We had a big spike here in volume. You can see that our volume actually, as we drove up an AMD like this, we can see that it came up, it hit a high. I could actually draw to it. We hit a high there. And then from there, it came back down. And now we're trending down. See? So boom, boom. That's roughly what's going on with the volume now. So it was going up, and then it ended up just falling off the face of the earth, and now it's going down. And it also correlates with the same time that we've had this double top here too. Look at that. It actually looked like this initial top. Look at the volume dying before it drops, and then look at the volume pick up here. So the volume actually spiked a little bit as we're going down. So right here was like the main spike, and then so like boom, volume picked up here, then then it dropped, and then we rose again, but we rose again without good volume. See, so we rose again without having strong volume. So the chances of it continuing this trend and coming down to here, are pretty decent. Let me do this. Let's go to OnDemand, click off OnDemand. So that was a little cool feature I just want to show. You can go back in time, you can trade, you can do a lot. And now we're on real time. I'm covering up my my top panel here. Let me see, because I need to be able to click charts. So I can do this, I believe. All right. Monitor. Trade. Okay. Let's go to the SPY. All right. So this is the week. This is crazy. So let's go to the daily candles here. Look at this. So if we draw a trend line from here or from here, let's do that. We get a significant break and a gap down past this basically yearly trend line. This is a year. 1 day, 1 year. It should be. Let's fix that. Okay. So that's pretty significant right there. That's pretty significant. Looks like we came down, we poked, and then here, and then we really ramped down. And like, what can catch us? Like, what can catch us on the SPY going down here? To my finger swim, freeze, whatever. The only thing I'm thinking of is that we could come to this support level right here. But besides that, like, we got these moving averages moving up. We could easily retrace and come down and hit these, which would be the low of this little dip. Oh, thank you. Thank you so kindly for acting great. Yeah, performance. Okay. Let's just get that off the screen. Auto zoom. Okay. So that is a huge danger. We just broke down below this yearly trend. So starting back in October. So it's, and then look at this one. We get this one here. Let's go to January. So this is January. Let's just take a look, because I haven't drawn this one yet, so this is going to be just on the fly. So boom, that's another target. That's a target for a bounce. So once again, this is right in the area where I have my alert. I got my alert set for right here. I should have it a little higher. I should have it right here. There you go. So almost at this exact point, should we see some type of pullback? I think at first we're going to see a rise back up and re-challenge this. And then I think we're going to see a drop. But if not, if my alert goes off right here, this is heavy, heavy support. Look at that candle support. And it's heavy support. And look at this dip. Look at this candle right here. Look at this one. Boop. Thing came down, touched, and just bounced right back up. So I think that we retest the 30-day here on the daily chart. So I think Monday we're going to get really bullish, maybe Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. And then I think eventually we're going to just crash and just, I think we're going to break the low of this candle here. I really do. I think we're going to break it. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not. But next couple of days, I think we'll get everybody back to thinking, oh, no, it's fine. That wasn't anything. That it's just going to crash again and take everybody out. And with that force, the thing is about big moves in the stock market. Oh, my God. I just looked at the hourly. When I'm looking at big moves like this in the stock market, I'm seeing that, especially I'm looking at the furthest extent of the move and realizing that if we re-challenge that and break that, any of the resistance in front of it is going to be in game. It's going to be tougher for that resistance to hold up compared to if it trends into it. So for instance, like we have this major support level right here, which I drew a line, going from the January to now, where the major support line is, and it lines exactly up right with the top of this little bump here, like exactly. like it's almost like pointing to where it's going to go to. That being said, this candle here was not a part of a gradual sequence down. And if there was a gradual sequence down and then it didn't consolidate here, it just kept walking it in, I'd be a lot more confident for that bounce than I would be if this went like this and then came up, chopped up here, and then came back down to retest this. The quicker that this candle gets to 524.23, the better for this bounce play. If anytime you see a level that you want to play and that level is near a consolidation zone, you got to be wary about that holding, because the chances of that holding is going to be a lot lower. Let's see if I can find an active example here. Okay, look at this. So there was no consolidation at this zone. The consolidation is way down here. So it's a good distance away. And as it ran, if it started consolidating right here, I'd be a little nervous. But because this thing ran straight up to the 365 and the 200 and ended up closing out right there, this was a huge signal just to go short. This was such a big signal. And that would have been an amazing swing trade. Let's see if we can find a consolidation near right here. Look at this. This came up and this consolidated near it, right? So look at the distance of that compared to the other distance. Like we're tight with our consolidation right near the 360. And on top of that, it already came up in a straight line and hit it. Look at this. That is just a straight line coming right up to the moving average and then hitting it. And then, be short on the first candle that breaks the green, which would be right here. And that you would have got stopped out on that, though, because it came right up here and wicked me out. Well, granted, you could have sold just this quick move. So if you put your stop at halfway, that would have been a 1-to-1. But nonetheless, it was going in that direction. You could tell because this thing came in a straight line. It didn't come up here and consolidate, and then it just dropped, right? But look at over here. Look at over here. This came up, and then look at how close the consolidation is to the top. And then on top of that, look how long it was. So that was a big sign that we were in a battle with the the people that are trying to buy and sell stocks right here. This is the battle zone, and it came up here and didn't go all the way. It stopped and then consolidated, then drove up. So that's a big. You can see that on a lot of different tickers. Let's go to the 5-minute chart on Tesla. Okay. That's fucking. That is money. That is money. All right. So here's the other style play that you can get, especially off the open. We get this giant blast off, right? So there wasn't an angle up and then consolidation near it. It was a straight sprint. But why would I look at this play and not say major reversal? I would say launch. Well, there's a few reasons. First, this is the open. So the open is, you don't rate the same. It can do things differently at the open. So this thing just sprinted up, right? It had a consolidation right here, which is like exactly what you want to see. You want to see it holding high above for continuation, then it blasted off. So this would have been the first add. So I got in like right here, I think, and then I got out quick, but I didn't add on this. But what you'd want to do is you want to get in on the stock. When it had the first red move, you add on this, and then that would be the complete move. So I saw the 30-day below it, but it was flat with the 200. So this thing launched off the 200 the 30-day, and then it started coming up towards the 365. So I'm anticipating this cross here. And I would assume that it would keep going higher, wouldn't fade, but maybe it went back higher. Okay. It went back higher. Then it faded the next day. But this right here, look at this play. Look at this play. This was a straight line up until the 5-year. Look at this. So even though this was the open and it broke that bounce rule because it's the open, this thing had a small pullback on this candle and then just launched up to this. And then look at this, like, I don't even know if it's called, this is like star doji. I know it's a doji, but look at that thing. That thing is just screaming reversal. That is just the biggest reverse. And it hit the 5-year. So it sprinted straight at it, hit the 5-year, and gave us a really big indication candle at the short. And like, look at it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5, 6 candles in a row. On top of the fact that it hit a trend line that I had drawn. Just remarkable. Remarkable. Very easy to call out. At this point, it's not a 3-finger spread because the 30-day wasn't separated. But this thing has just been holding. The 5-year has just been a monster. It's been an absolute monster this year. This past week. It's probably going to show it on this one as well. Boom, blew through it. But look what happened. This came down. It consolidated here, but that's like halfway mark between the 5-year. And then we get to here, and there's no consolidation. It's just a straight sprint into it, right? But then it continues, and it continues lower. And then it hits the 365, shows the bounce, and then moves forward again. Just what price action this week? Okay, so let's go for Tesla. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I'm jumping off here. We're going to go the max week. Take a look at Tesla the max week. All right. By the way, don't listen to anything I'm saying because I don't really know what I'm doing. So that's your disclaimer. I'm not like certified or anything. So I am not certified, so don't copy me. You might learn a concept here, and it might be right. It could be right. But I don't know. Okay, so here. So we have this trend line here coming down, and then we have this one here. Let's take a look at Tesla. That's a 2-touch. 1, 2. We can draw this here. So we're on the weekly chart of Tesla, trying to figure out where can this go. So we have a convergence. We're coming to a point, which is a blast off point. This is, if we look at the long-term move for Tesla, this is a bull candle. Like this is a green bullish pattern here. Look at that move up. And then where's the consolidation? Where's the consolidation? In the top, like this would be 50%. It's in the top, round the top, half top third. So because we have this big dip down here. Look at that. So if we get these arrows coming in, no, let's just clear this thing. Let's just delete it. All right, move. So if we get these arrows coming in like this, because we have this move up, right? We have this arrow coming in like this, boom, 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 trend line. We have this trend line coming in like this. It's looking really, really bullish to me on the weekly charts. It really is. I think that we do see, we get three big red candles on the week. We could see a weekly candle that moves up just off the bounce, but the fact that this is destroyed, the temporary long thesis would be out the window, because this giant move, granted, like if you look from here, like you could count this move from here to here. So it could be the center, but I would expect some more price action before we see that blast off. And this is weekly candles. So I'm saying like maybe a month, we're going to start seeing something happen where we see maybe these moving averages start to flatten out a bit, and then from there we see a major break. But this is the angle of where I think the price action will stay inside. I think it will stay inside 161.63 and 271.86. So this is going to be, I think that this is going to be a possible little bit of a range. Maybe not. Maybe we break through this and then it just rockets into 4 red candles. And then the likelihood of a bounce, because of how direct it is, it's going to be pretty strong. So, obviously these 3 weeks in a row red are looking dangerous, and we pushed off the 200. But I do think we break this, but I do not think that we fall outside of these two lines. If we do, I think we could get a test down here. I think we could get a test of this trend line, but it would probably be over here, because it might be in 3 weeks, whatever. Or we might hit this and then bounce up to this and then bounce back down. But the cone's getting narrow. The cone is getting narrow. You can see it pretty clearly. Like that's a pretty clear 3 touch right there. The top. There's another one right here that is below. And then you have a 2 touch here, but if it comes down, it could make 3. So that could end up turning into a 3 touch. So that's not something that I would fully rely on yet, but let's try to get another one. Can we get another one? Let's try to get another one. Boom, boom. Let's see if this works. Or right there. Look at that. Will that touch 3? I don't know. Let's see. I could put that there. Yeah, look at this. That green one, that one dipped below, but it pulled back and closed above. So, and that's right here, right? Yeah, that's right on that one. Same thing happened on that candle. So that's a good one. So let's take a look at that. That lines up right with the 365, which is, and look at this. Boop. Look at that daily candle bounce on that thing. So that's a possibility. That is that's a more legitimate trend line than this 2 touch, because it hasn't confirmed itself yet. But this is the lowest point that I see. Let me see. Let's go back here. right there. That's way up. That is way up. Let me see this. All right, so let me go to the day. Let's try to get this on here now. Just trying to draw this trend line here. Okay, perfect. Remove. Auto zoom. Remove. Okay, this is the lowest point. 138. 94 is 80, but look at that. Oh man. Oh, Jesus, that's nice. All right, let's take a look at this. Drawing, of course. Wow. Yeah, so I'm bullish on Tesla. I could be wrong. This came down, this gap down, and this did consolidate near the moving averages. That's dangerous. If we break through this, that's going to be game set match the downside. I think. Let's do one more. We did the day. We did the week. Let's do. Let's do. Let's do the quarters. Take a little look-see here in the quarters. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Look at this. Wow, dude. That is insane. That is an insane trend line right there. And then look at this one. All right, about here. Insane trend lines right there. That is so nice. Well, so we just started the quarter, which means we just started this candle, and we came up and hit the moving average and then rejected back off, but we broke the high right here. We broke this high. This is, and I'm going to do show name on the right, and then bomb level, go long, bomb level, go long. Okay. This would, and you know what I should do? End August, September. Okay, I'll just do bomb level, go long, August, September. So I'm looking at this play because this just broke two of the biggest red candles that are in the recent history, past history. This one's a giant candle too, but these two candles were just broken, and it hit this trend line. Oh my God, this thing's gonna launch. Tesla is gonna be in the next 2 quarters. Like this thing could just go, like, you know, there's always that downside risk, but we are already pulled back close to it. This trend line here on the quarters. This is just that just broke these two reds. Boom and boom. That is gonna be something. That is gonna be something. We're gonna make a serious move on Tesla. It looks like coming up. Once again, don't listen to me on anything I say because I don't know what I'm talking about. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be the touch the top of that candle. So we need some movement. Oh man, if we get some movement on this thing is gonna be this is gonna be a massive move. Massive move. Woo! Wow. Broke those two during the first. Oh man. No, the candle's not even 2/3 complete yet. So this is looking good. Well, we'll see. I think so. Coming in the election. And the SPY is just overextended and just trying to make it further. And you look at the core, everybody's like, oh, this has been crazy. The dip. The quarter candles say a little bit different of a story. The daily candles say terror. The quarter candle, if it broke 492, oh my, that's going to be. Boom. Look out below. That's going to be massive. That's going to be massive. And if it does, this candle already broke the halfway point of this one. So the chances of it going to that bottom are extremely high. It probably will bounce, but the chances of it getting to the bottom of that are very high. So yeah, just look at the SPY. It's just unbelievable. The problem with a chart like the SPY is you would expect on a move that's going to do something this crazy over time, and this should be on max. It's on max. Okay. Can we do the yearly candles? Like this is just so dangerous. And why is this only going to, or whatever? This is just so dangerous. Look at that move up. Look at that move up. You got to have a type like this. You can't just do this forever. You can't just continually run up like this. It breaks every rule. Every rule says you got to have if you're going to continue in a certain direction, you have to have a 30% pullback. That looked okay right there. That looked like, okay, we're okay. And then we double topped in 2008 and came down here. Okay. All right. But then just look at that run. Look at from, the lows of 2009, 2010, 65, and now we're at 500, so 65, man, just, and I'm just roughing this. Divided by 233, like that's 50%, 233, that's rough, If it goes to 236, sell everything, sell your house, throw it in the stock market. But man, it just ran too far. This is just straight years of just diluting our buying power. Just look at that. All right, I love this stuff, so I can talk forever. Go invest, baby. Give us a follow, give us a like, and I'll continue to post some information. I don't don't listen to me, but